yeah, that's what I like to see. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Welcome to Welcome to さあ、リーガルマインドセットさんチャンネルどのパフパフはいです。
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yet you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
What's up, everybody? It's Andrew Esquire of The Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Hoping for a semi-unscuffed stream today. I know I'm in a travel setup. This is very impromptu. I actually didn't even have time to grab my suit. I'm just rocking a short sleeve here. Not that anybody can tell because I'm never going to raise my arm above a 45-degree angle. But that said, I'm still streaming for you because I have a separate streaming PC. I leave it in a go bag. I'm ready to go and just pull at any moment when I want to travel. So it had all my good stuff in it, but I forgot my suits. I feel naked. Feel very naked today. But it's good to see everybody else out here. I like that you guys celebrate my nakedness together. I am unashamed of my nudity on stream today. Speaking of people that are based and unashamed, King Lugia for 5, and then JP Ravenfire with 20 legal mindset memberships.
I'm not sorry, and I did nothing wrong.
You guys are absolutely kicking it based here today. Thank you so much, JP. Appreciate you, JP Ravenfire, and also King Lugia for dropping those gifts. Really support the channel. Memberships coming up big. And remember, 60% of our members on the channel are actually it's closer to 70% are through free memberships. So thank you good to everybody else out there who gave those. Also, King Lugia,
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Maybe based, but you're still a dirty, dirty, dirty man. Japanese Demon Lord Abari Lucifer says, is Japan's new prime minister a pro or a con? I haven't looked into that. Let me look at the Japanese, Japan's new prime minister. I have not seen this. Shigeru Ishiba. I'll have to do some research. I'll bring in my top agents in Japan, the same ones that spotted Riku's car. I'll bring in the top agents in the field. I might get banned on Twitch. Why? Because I show arm. Oh yeah, because I show a bit of arm as a man. Yes. I'm not an e-girl, so I would get banned. I would definitely get banned. Oh, progressive or conservative. I don't know whether what the politics there is. And guys, also remember that foreign politics don't neatly line up into this. Americans like to view things through these people are the Republicans and these people are the Democrats of Asia. That's not how it works. In a weird way, sometimes like the more socialist party can have some policies that within it would be assigned with more socially conservative groups, whereas sometimes the free market or the economically liberal group might have some stuff that's really, let's say, WEF-y, right? So the party lines don't line up one for one. So don't always think it's analogous to these people are the one party and these people are another. That's really not what we're talking about. Yeah, socialists, Marxists, it's all good. There's a nice spectrum abroad, right? Every country's politics are different, and what those people want is not necessarily aligned with what your political party in a different country might want. It's not one for one, right? But yes. Let's see here. LJ will work with 10 illegal mindset memberships. Hold on, we gotta get a different reaction.
Not a sin. I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Thank you so much, LJ O'Rourke. Appreciate that and for your support. And guys, please say thank you to LJ O'Rourke, JP, King Lugia, everybody who donated those gifts today. Red Eye, member for 7 months, says, hey, oh, look, 7 months already of base lawyer, man. You've survived. You've survived the...
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Low, man.
If you've survived the Law Man for 7 months, you're doing something right. I'm just saying. Congratulations, Red Eye. And Tatsumi said, come on, Legal Minds. Like, give us a cute anime girl kya for feeling naked without your suit. I can't do that. Just like I can't ooh-woo. But I can get pretty long. Am I Yakuza showing your fingers? Yeah. I actually have a cut on one of my fingers. I don't know how the fuck that happened. That was weird. But anyways, let's get to our topics today before we get into too many glory details about my body parts. So actually, you know what? I've got a Gura clip. Let's start with a Gura clip. It's nice and wholesome. Nice and wholesome Gura clip to start us off here today. This is Gura accidentally drinks Ina's milk.
Milk. Now what do you do with it? Is there a way to recycle it? Nom yum. Cookie. Milk.
Good stuff from Gura. Nice wholesome start to the day. Okay. Before we get into the Uwu Gaming says, can't Uwu trigger. Sorry I triggered you, Uwu Gaming. Forgive me, Uwu. 0% milk. All right. So before we get into the Steam agreement, which is a little bit dry, I will say, and we're going to focus on really the provision in Section 10 that was altered because everybody was really, really, really not happy about it. But before we do that, there was an update in California on the California law, and this does apply to Steam. So California, this was posted by Pirate Nation, shout out to them. California forces digital stores to admit players don't own digital content. So once again, I'm willing to give fair dues where fair dues are at. Sometimes consumer protection gets it right. And this is one of those circumstances where I do think consumer protection is getting it right because it is forcing them to actually admit, hey, when you buy a game digitally, you're not buying the game, right, in the way that you think you're buying the game, right? I'm trying to move my camera a little bit there. So this is actually positive. Newsom signed a bill that would forbid digital storefronts from using the term buy unless customers are explicitly warned they're paying for a license to the game, which may expire at any time. So currently there's no provision in law to stop digital games from being removed, right? So you can't stop them from being removed, but you can say, hey, you've got to disclose that they're not actually buying it. You're not buying it. You're buying a license. A license is not full ownership of the thing in the same way of you buying a CD or something else like that. So that is a rare Newsom W, rare California W. Like once again, I'm very fair. A lot of people say I'm some crazy conservative person who's far right and will never say what's right or wrong. I'm willing to say that specific action is good. Now, where did that come from? What people brought that up? Because that was something that was probably brought up by the regulatory bodies that were probably like, hey, if we're going to regulate, we should regulate this. So it probably wasn't something that originated from Newsom, but he did sign it. So he didn't oppose it, right? Which is good. It's a very, very rare W. Now give Californians their gun rights back. Huh? How about that, right? How about that? Also, good morning, everybody checking in here. I know a lot of people checking in. I see Patrick and a couple other people coming in here, checking in the morning. So appreciate all y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or night. It is 7 p.m. over here in Thailand. And I do appreciate everybody who's come and joined on YouTube and also those on locals as well. Appreciate all you guys, whatever platform you are on. All right. So let's get to the Steam agreement. So we've got the new Steam subscriber agreement, which just came out. And this is fresh, hot off the presses. So for those that haven't seen it, Steam issued as of today a new subscriber agreement. Now, most of this has been unchanged. So the thing you can see they changed here, and they make it very clear that they changed it at the top here, is that Valve has updated the Steam subscriber agreement. The update affects your legal rights, including how disputes and claims between you and Valve are resolved. Among other things, the new dispute provisions in Section 10 require that all disputes proceed in court and not arbitration. So people have been worried about arbitration and being forced into certain arbitration that benefited them. But instead, nope, it's going to be court. And so I'm going to skip down here. Now you see these different major table of contents. So you've got registration as a subscriber, the terms that apply to you, your account, licenses, billing, online conduct, third-party content, user-generated content, disclaimers, liability limits, amendments, term, and an applicable law and jurisdiction. So we're going to go down to that, which is Section 10, right? And under Section 10 says right here that most user concerns can be resolved by our Steam support site at support.steam.com. Of course, they want you to not sue, right? If you're unable to resolve your concerns and dispute remains between you and Valve, this section explains how users can resolve it. For all subscribers outside of the UK and the EU, so everybody who is not subject to some tea, crumpets, and croissants, or maybe some bratwurst, whatever your flavor is, some pasta, some pierogies, whatever your thing, some jamon iberico, right? Whatever you're into over there in Europe, whatever weird Euro stuff you're into, right? 7 days croissants. I actually like those. Okay. You and Valve agree that this agreement shall be deemed, actually, I'll call it the Kinder Bueno zone. If you're in the Kinder Bueno zone, there you go. You and Valve agree that this agreement shall be deemed to have been made and executed in the state of Washington, USA, and is subject to Washington law, excluding conflicts of laws and the Convention on Contracts for International Sale of Goods, governing everything relating out of any aspect of relationship to us, this agreement, your use of Steam, your account, the content. You and Valve agree that all disputes between you and Valve shall be commenced and maintained exclusively in state or federal court in King County, Washington, having subject matter jurisdiction. You hereby consent to exclusive jurisdiction of such courts and waive any objections as to personal jurisdiction or venue in such courts. And if the laws where you live mandate alternative dispute resolution options, you may seek a remedy under those options. If you are a consumer who lives in Russia, you may also seek remedy with local Russian state court. So Russia has special rule. Russia rule says in Soviet Russia, court governs you. Court governs you. So Soviet Russia, you take up in Soviet Russia. Privyet. Going down for EU and UK. The agreement is governed by the law of a country where you have your habitual residence, so where you're living. In the event of a dispute related to the interpretation, performance, or validity, an amicable solution may be sought before any legal action. Your complaint at help.steam.com. The EU Commission provides an online dispute resolution website for EU consumers at ec.europa.eu/consumer/ODR. Participation in this website is not available to US companies, which is why Valve is not registered there. However, insofar as your complaint concerns behavior of Valve data protection representative, Valve GmbH, that's a German registered company there, you can file your complaint there. In the event that the alternative dispute resolution procedure fails, or either Valve or you prefer not to resort to ADR, you may bring the proceedings in courts of the place where you are domiciled. So if you're in the EU, you do have a little bit more protection. Of course, you've got to bring it in EU courts, which may or may not be the best law, may or may not be great. But just, that's your solution to the problem. You've got to bring it in your local court if you're in the EU or if you're in the UK. Also, if you're in Russia, you could bring it in Russia. Very, very interesting. So that's what we got for the Steam subscriber agreement. Now, of course, yes, there's more in this agreement. I would read the entire thing, but most of it is kind of not contentious. But this is one of the kind of things you understand where with Valve, or whether with Steam rather, understand you don't actually, like, you can be terminated, right? And understanding the nature of the licensing agreements and the nature of having licenses to use is that they can be terminated. So your license offers no title or ownership in the content or services. That's what a lot of people don't understand when they're going with Steam, right? There's pros and cons to Steam, right? That's a big pro, a big con, right? Now there are pros. And look, I own games on Steam. There's certain games I own on Steam. There's certain games I have physical copies of, right? And there's certain games I buy for both Steam and a physical copy of. Salika Alpaca for 500 yen says, I saw this agreement before I went to bed. I signed it without a thought and went to sleep. Yeah, no, and once again, for most people, it's not going to be that much different. But a lot of people were asking me, hey, what's the difference? And the difference is there's no more mandatory arbitration. Now, if your country or your state requires ADR, then they're going to be forced into that. So they're kind of acknowledging, look, we're not going to usurp national law. We're not going to go above like national level law, but, you know, we're going to require you to go to court if we can. And we're going to require you to do that in a jurisdiction that we are familiar with and that we like, i.e. Washington, because that's where they're located, is in Washington. Cool. Yeah. No, you don't own games on Steam. That's the problem. Yes, you do not own games on Steam. Right? You do not own games on Steam. Games can come and games can go. What is ADR? Can you please tell us? ADR is alternative dispute resolution. So ADR is any form of thing that is not court. So it could be something like mediation. It could be something where the court is involved, but it's not a court case. So maybe there's a judge involved, or maybe there's a mediator, a court-assigned mediator involved. That's ADR. That's alternative dispute resolution. Maybe there's a arbitrator that was named by the contract, because a contract might name an arbitrator, right? Maybe there is a sort of negotiated agreement, or you negotiate bilaterally with them. That's ADR as well. Anything that's not court. People don't want to go to court because I've got a secret for you guys. You ready? Ready for the secret? Lawyers are expensive and they're kind of a waste of money. I know that's crazy. Let me say it one more time. Lawyers are a waste of your fucking money, right? Going to court is not something you want to do, because the only people that usually win are the blood-sucking, scummy, ambulance-chasing, Fleabag, Saul Goodman-esque lawyers. I know it's crazy, right? Do you guys like my ASMR? Is that good ASMR? That's the lawyer ASMR. Don't pay, motherfuckers. Don't pay. It's not good. Let's get some super chats here. JV says, at least you can play games with the family. Just kick that one guy out before they get you banned. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mike Weber said, it's my understanding that arbitration can reduce costs on both sides, but very often is abused in favor of the corporation. So it seems positive, not a lawyer though. No, that's correct. I've worked for corporations, and let me tell you what happens. The corporations in these agreements, they go out and pick arbitrators that are favorable to them, that because they want outcomes that are predictable. They want to say, okay, if we go to arbitration, we're going to pay somewhere between $5,000 to $20,000. They don't want to go to court and then all of a sudden have $1 million judgment against them. They want predictability. And arbitrators also tend to be professionals in that field. And typically arbitrators in the arbitration companies are focused on a specific field. So for example, the airline arbitrators are all people who are experts in the airline industry. And because they know what the costs and risks are and everything else associated with the airline industry, they're going to be misers. They're not going to be giving you a bunch of money. It's sort of like, I use this example because obviously I live in Asia. When a tourist comes and asks a taxi to take them somewhere, the tourist has no idea how much that taxi costs. They could be paying 10 times the price for the taxi because you have no idea. If you land in Phnom Penh in Cambodia and you have no idea how much a taxi costs, you're just going to pay because you're like, all right, I just got to get from point A to point B. Just get me there and I'm just going to pay you, right? But if you're a local and you know how much it is and they try to rip you off, you're like, wait a second. That's the arbitrator. The arbitrator is the local. They know what the real cost is, so they're going to get very close to the number. Now, that's good for corporations, but it's bad for people. But once again, you can make a counter argument that they're giving the fair number, that they're giving a fair number, right? So that they're giving a realistic number. Now, some of these arbitrators are more, let's say, are more fair than others and more neutral than others, and some are more biased, right? So it goes arbitrator by arbitrator. You really have to look into each one and see how the outcomes come out with these arbitrators. But a lot of the results of the arbitration are not public. They're private. However, the costs of arbitration are less because there's less lawyers involved, less discovery, et cetera, et cetera. So it's much cheaper to go to arbitration for both sides. For both sides. Valerian says, that's why I leech here. I accept your leechery, Valerian. Squad Father says, what do you think this does as far as gaming piracy goes? It's not going to stop anything regarding gaming piracy. If they're going to sue you for gaming piracy, that's totally different. They're going to go after you differently. That's not that's not going to be something that's going to really stop that. Gaming piracy is going to continue. The Steam subscriber agreement is not going to fundamentally change that. You'd actually have to stop the methods by which people pirate games, which are not Steam. Steam doesn't control how Steam is pirated or how games are pirated, right? So game piracy is not going to change because Steam changed their agreement, right? It's not going to do anything. Steam is in full compliance with the law, by the way. Steam itself is not pirating. So it's kind of difficult to clamp down on that. But I mean, okay, fair question though. Fair question. All right. I think it's time for some unhinged woman here. Unhinged Kotaku woman. Let's get into it with this letter from Alyssa Mercante to SmashJT. Now, SmashJT sent me the whole unedited thing, so I had to go back and redact it myself. But this is a lawsuit by Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante, who, by the way, has talked very publicly about her sex stuff. And I'm going to go on SmashJT's show on Saturday night, I think Eastern time. It's Sunday morning, my time. But I am going to go on his show, and we're going to talk about this. So I look forward to talking about this later this weekend. But that said, the fact that they were sent this demand letter is absolutely insane. And I want to get into it here today and go over it today. Of course, what I'm saying is I'm saying for the purpose of legal analysis, right? I'm not jumping to any legal conclusions. So right here, you should have the SmashJT letter. There we go. By the way, CCPT Tech says, scissor me timbers. Obviously making a South Park reference there about scissoring. But speaking, by the way, CCPT Tech, thank you very much and appreciate all your help, by the way. But Alyssa Mercante is the one who put out the threat, right, to everyone saying, hey, look, if you want to come fight me, come do it. And then she backed down and backed away. When people challenged her, like Vera Dark, even other women challenged her, she literally backed down. She just ran away. Now, this is what's called a cease and desist lawsuit. I've explained this before, and let me explain this one more time again. This is not a lawsuit. So she has not yet filed a complaint in court. Cease and desist letters can be totally full of shit. And oftentimes you can wipe your ass with them because what they're telling you in this is not legally enforceable. And that's why I pay a lot more attention to the complaint in court than I do a cease and desist letter, right? Yeah, somebody said in the chat, C and D equals crumble and dunk. I completely agree with you. I usually throw these things in the trash. I'm like, okay, just go and sue me, okay? Fuck you, right? They try to scare people. And typically, if you're not scared of them, they back down. They back down. It's a bullying tactic. Now, by the way, guys, if you like this content, please do indeed, like my good friend Aaron said here, smash the like button for the work that we're doing on this channel. Thank you so much, Aaron, for being very nice about that. We want to get these likes up there. I want to try to get it up to 700 today. I know we can do it. We're at 250. Let's get those likes up to 700. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Do it for the if not for me. If not for me, do it for the
monkey.
appreciate it. Much appreciated. Also, oh, by the way, I think I have a new version of this clip. Hold on. Oh, it's not on this computer. It's on a different computer. I'll get it later. All right. Well, let's continue. Let's continue with this. So this is the actual raw letter from SmashJT dated September 8th, but I believe it was received just a couple days ago. Your defamation and harassment of our client, Alyssa Mercante. And this is from the law firm of Kammerman, Unk, Soniker, and Klein in New York. Today, we write you as counsel for Alyssa Mercante. I hate this font, by the way. I hate this fucking font. I hate this font. And let me actually make a little poll in the chat. Hold on. I want to make a poll in the chat. Yeah. Unky Unk. It's the NTR Unk. Right? Let's see. Do you think Alyssa will actually sue over defamation? I want to see if you guys think she's going to actually sue over defamation. Just yes or no. Is she going to actually sue over defamation? Poll is up in the chat. All right. Wen here says, I'd love to hear some comeback against Mercante, like sue me legally, bitch. Yeah, and here's the other thing too. One of the things that she wanted to do was silence people talking about her. But what this dumb woman does not understand is that by suing over it, if she does sue, that's just going to mean we're all going to cover this. And also it means discovery. So she's going to have to give out all this information she didn't want to give out. And also we're all going to be talking about it on the internet, getting millions of views to this information, calling her these things, right? She's also a public person. So this falls under a higher standard. But let's just put out there that they believe that they can win even at the higher standard, which is insane. But thank you, Elwin, for that. All right, let's continue here. We write you to, as counsel, you have made unlawfully harassing and or defamatory statements about Alyssa. We are writing you to request that you voluntarily retract them and publish an apology, the language of which we will suggest to you. Okay, right off the bat, let me tell you right now, when someone says they're going to write your own apology, you turn around and you say,
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
literally, when they want to write their own apology. What the fuck? All right. Before we pursue other legal avenues, you know what their legal avenue is? To go fuck off. Your statements, which are defamatory to Alyssa, on or around March 3rd, you tweeted horrification. What's that? Like what Alyssa Merck does, sucking dicks in her off time for money? You then repeated the claim on April 1st, 2024, tweeting, "How do I put this in a way you'd grasp? The Amico was about as fun as sucking 20 dicks in a row, but instead of getting paid for it, I paid 10K to do it," in response to one of Alyssa's tweets. You then published a video on YouTube in which you stated, "Alyssa Mercante has since come forward stating that she used to be a sex worker sucking dicks for money before working at Kotaku." You repeated this statement on YouTube on March 1st and May 3rd, as well as on your website. You know, as far as I've ever heard, the information I've always heard is that she did do some sort of sex work, whether it was sugar daddy or OF or something that she was doing. She also ran a sex blog for the longest time. So her history there is very public, very on the internet. And when you're on the internet talking about your sexual behavior, that's going to become part of the permanent record, right? Part of the permanent record. This is what comes out. And this is something that I think in the OnlyFans era, people need to be very aware of. If you have gone out and done OnlyFans, someone can call you a sex worker and that's not defamation. So if you've gone out there and you have an OnlyFans, or you have a seeking arrangement profile, or you're on an escort website, or if you are at any way posting that I at one point accepted money in exchange for this, even for feet pics, even if you're selling feet pics, only feet, that still could be considered sex work. So I think you'd be defamation proof on that. Even if all you're doing is selling feet pics, the purpose is inherently sexual. So what I'm saying is defamation, at least in the US, because this is a US case, means it is not true. If it is true, it's a total defense. If this is true, it's a total defense. And I know what you guys are saying. I see you in the chat, brother. Ooh, but guess what?
Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. Oh yeah.
And I know you guys are
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Remember the other day when we did the political orientation by sexual fetish map, and like some of you guys in the chat were like, "I'm all over that map." I remember. Don't think I forgot that. Don't think I forgot about that shit. I saw you guys in the chat when you were when I showed those fetishes. You guys were like, "I'm hitting all those." I'm like, "What?" I don't even want to know. So don't think I didn't see that. I see. Yeah, see the chat only clop. This is why chat is just telling on itself 24/7. Chat is just telling on itself 24/7. All right. Straight to jail for all of them. Jim Blade says, "I'm sensing a real high IQ play buyer." Yes, 39 IQ chat. 39 IQ. Alyssa Mercante definitely has the intellect.
Monkey.
I would compare it to a Chihuahua for being all bark and no bite, but it's disrespectful to Chihuahuas. Chihuahuas occasionally will bite. Mark of Reality said, "If Alyssa Mercante can make a prima facie complaint and an initial retainer payment, then she will sue, but the sue will be quickly abandoned." Probably. I just don't think she has the money. She's going to have to crowdfund it. She's already tweeting about trying to crowdfund her lawsuit because she doesn't have the money. Boomer says online ho status never ever goes away. The internet is forever. Exactly. And that's the thing that people forget is that, look, if you're going to do it, that's fine. And look, I've even said this before. I don't have a problem if people are going to own it and they're going to come out there and do it. If you want to do it, but just understand the consequences to it. If you're going to go out there and do the sex stuff, go just do it and own it and be proud about it. Just be like, "Yeah, I'm a sex worker. Who cares?" Right? Be like, "Yeah, I sucked fucking 52 million dicks, whatever." Right? Just be like that. That's fine. Right? Alyssa's problem is she wants it both ways. She wants to be able to have a sex blog and then sue somebody for defamation when they talk about her sexual history. And you can't do it both ways. If you have a sex blog that prohibits you from really giving a shit about what people say about your sex life, you've now put that up there publicly. You have no expectation of privacy in that. Right? People are like, clip. She won it both ways. That's DP. Chat, you just get
disgusting.
Saw on the Lich for ARS50 says Pippa's Grippas will not be defiled by comparing them with Alyssa's roadside enterprises. Ooh, do not slander Pippa's Grippas. Shout out to the Yabbit. LJO Rook says this sounds like someone playing without a full deck, might not even be playing with a full hand. In fact, I don't think she's got anything. That's why they sent a cease and desist. They didn't just file the complaint. If they really had him dead to rights, they just file the complaint. Now he's lawyered up. Now SmashJT, by the way, is lawyered up with friend of my show, Ron Coleman, good lawyer Ron Coleman of the Dillon Law Firm, and they're strapped up. They're ready to go. So they're not going to, this is not going to be like a they win easily sort of thing. Professional gentleman for Canadian 10 says 1,500 plus viewers. Only a third of you have liked the stream. You can do this, chat. Shame. Come on, guys. Let's get it up to 7. We're almost there. 435. We got 1,600 of you in the chat. Come on. We can do this, baby. We can do this. Just SmashJT is ready to smash. And so should you. Let's continue here. So they talked about her sucking dicks in her time off for money and sucking 20 dicks in a row. So that's what, and being a sex worker. So that's what is allegedly defamatory. Let's go down here. Jeff, those statements are false. So I love this. This guy is first naming him like this is his mother. Well, Jeff, you know that's not true, Jeff. She didn't suck all of those dicks. She just did a hawk tua on 1 or 2 of them. It wasn't 20. It was actually like Nick Atkins said, it was actually 37. Therefore, according to Snopes, this is false. This is fake info. It wasn't 20. It was 37. False. Fake news. Thank you, Nick Atkins. That's like a Nick Rekieta level argument. And I use that for the sense of when Nick, in his one of his motions, he made the argument that falling out wasn't a strong enough word to use a breakup of a friendship with your former polycule member, right? It needed to be a stronger word, right? No. That's not a legal argument, right? Same here. Right? If the number count is off. Well, it was 15. It wasn't 20. It was only the whole basketball team. No. Someday she'll experience the devil's roast beef. Oh, no. No. Bad Chaos Smash. Bad. Jin Blades for 50 said the activist types are always have an obsession with sex and sex work. It's so weird. Well, the thing is, they have an obsession with sex work because they want to be like, yeah, sex positivity. But then when it comes to their own sexual history, they have these weird pushbacks. It's like, why don't you just own it then? It's really weird. And also the whole, when the porn stars get older and then they suddenly pretend that they were taken advantage of because of they want a victim mentality. So sort of the Mia Khalifa route, right? Mia Khalifa is a great example. So Mia Khalifa did a lot of porn, got a lot of fame, got a lot of clout, and now she pretends to regret it. It's a very much a cycle. And Alyssa's getting, I think, to that point in the cycle where she's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to disown that and be like, I was wild when I was younger, but that's not how this works. You did it in the past. If you've done the sexual activities, it's not inaccurate to describe you doing sexual activities, right? Mia Khalifa, never heard of her, I swear. I wonder if I have a bullshit one here.
Emotional damage.
Good enough. All right. And then Steven Zek says, I fully support Alyssa suing, like how I support Acolyte to get a second season and Concord to re-release. I promise I'll consume them this time for real. I love the pictures of Concord in the dollar bin. It's so great. Honestly, it's kind of sad now that the Acolyte and Concord went away, so much content. So much free content is just killed, you know? If Alyssa doesn't sue, how am I going to grift? How am I, as ultra extremist lawyer, going to be the grifting properly without Alyssa suing? She's got to sue. Do it for me, baby. Do it for me. Daddy wants to buy another Bitcoin. Okay. Chaos Smash 64 says, explain the devil's roast beef to Newt. No, not today. Not today. Not today, Chaos Smash. That's for the BLM only. Okay. That's for the BLM only. Let's continue. So they're false. You knew they were false. You made them. Alyssa never had a come forward stating that she is engaged in the conduct you claim. There is a gulf between solo nude modeling and engaging for sex for money. A gulf you are aware of when you made these statements. You did not couch them in terms of possibility, but definitive fact within your knowledge. Okay. Is she going to make like a seeking arrangement type argument here? Like, I was just doing modeling at his house, and then the penis happened to fall into my mouth while I was modeling, right? I was just modeling, and the sex was just consensual sex that came with the modeling contract. I love all these legal loopholes. Look, I love legal loopholes. But are you really going to take that to court, bro? Are you really going to take that to court, step bro? Step bro lawyer? That's not a great argument. You did not count. Yeah, so these statements, not mere insults, trash talk, or rhetorical hyperbole. I believe this is a definition of trash talk. I believe this is a definition of an insult. You clearly intended them to be taken as literal fact. A jury could easily find a reasonable person of ordinary prudence to interpret it. This is bullshit. You're not the jury. You're her advocate. I don't agree with that at all. Most lawyers that are sane probably don't agree with that statement at all. Especially not, they say, it is facially obvious you have made these statements knowing they were false as required to find actual malice. So they're admitting that Alyssa is a public figure and it's going to take actual malice. Well, guess what? It's going to be damn hard to prove actual malice. You know you're not going to win that, Alyssa. You're already admitting that's the legal standard. Blackguard for 10 says they can't handle the shame, so they have to convince themselves and others they were victims. Exactly. They have to say, oh, I was a victim, because they don't want to take accountability for the fact they just made a bad decision. And look, we all make bad decisions. I make a shit ton of bad decisions, okay? I own those bad decisions, and I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. I fucked up. I scuffed the stream, boys. I scuffed the stream. You know? You just own it. You're like, yeah, I fucking scuffed the stream. Let's go. And you move on with your life, you know? And maybe you scuffed more than the stream. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you scuffed 20 dicks in a row. Whatever. Just own it and move on. And why can't she transform this into a sex positive narrative where she's like, yeah, I fucked guys for money and it was empowering and I'm an empowered woman, right? Isn't that what she's supposed to believe? Right. Chris S says, I'm craving a hot roast beef and cheddar from Arby's. You know what I'm craving? The Thai. Now, my Thai brothers and sisters or people who've been to Thailand, the toasties from 7-Eleven, the like ham and cheddar toasties from 7-Eleven. For those that know those, I really fucking want one of those right now. I'm actually thinking about it actively. Those things are fucking delicious. Tatsumi said, this legal argument sounds like the person said, no, officer, I didn't have 13 beers at 10 tonight before driving home. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I didn't have 13, I had 10. I had 10. Yeah, that's not a good argument. It's a trash argument. Trash your argument. Imagine being embarrassed that you're a professional skin flautist. Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with that? You should be owning it. If you're a model, why not own it? Why not be proud of it? Most runway models are proud of it. I think OnlyFans models should be proud of it. Seeking arrangement girls should be proud of it. Just own it. If that's what you're doing. Halo 5678 says it's quite the line to join the stream on. I know. Welcome to the stream, all 1,700 of you talking about this lawsuit. And once again, this is interesting because I think this type of lawsuit, Even if you guys don't know Kotaku's Alyssa Mercante, if you haven't been on the internet seeing this woman, if you don't know SmashJT, by the way, he's a good channel. You should subscribe to him if you like gaming stuff, especially the anti-woke gaming stuff. He's really good about that. But even if you don't know about these content creators, this can happen to anybody. This can happen to any e-girl threatening somebody else over something they did in the past. And we're going to get into some claims from Alyssa as well. Okay, further, because commenting on Alyssa and her work has proven so lucrative, there's an incentive for you to up your ante in your criticisms. While you could have left your statements at mere opinion and hyperbole, doing so would have led to flagging esteem from your hordes of fans. Therefore, as we see, this is creating a false narrative. Therefore, as we have documented, your statements about Alyssa have increased in fervor and falsity, rising from what the First Amendment protects to unprotected speech. And in doing so, you have demonstrated that you will recklessly disregard good taste and truth to provide content that sustains your social media pressure. This is the definition of actual malice. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just because this is actually some commie logic here. Even if you have a profit motive, so having a profit motive is not malice. Only a communist or a Marxist would think that having a profit motive is malice. If you are covering something because it makes money, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Someone said this is the actual Copacabana. We'll play that. I'll play half the meme.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yet you're coping and seething.
Yeah, it's all cope. It's all cope, for sure. Mark's Mayhem says, why am I dragged into this? Not you, Mark's Mayhem. Also, Ral's welcome as a new member. Appreciate you joining the RPG. Thank you. JP Ravenfire, just a bluff, hoping SmashJT will fall for it. Maybe he could, and he could be baited into giving an apology. But I don't think he's going to, because he's lawyered up and he's already told her to fuck off publicly. Solon says, as I stated before, Alyssa did game journos before doing games. Journalism skill set transferred nicely. From truly throat goat, 7 out of 10. Yeah, she took the what you might call the Harris path to success. It's getting a little political, a little spicy there, guys. I don't know. Might be a little too spicy. But you know what?
I'm not sorry, and I did nothing wrong.
Yes, Alyssa did indeed run that way up to the top. Mark said, I wonder if an anonymous donation to a legal fund for just one retainer payment is in the works. For the content, people! I love that. If the aunties sponsored her lawsuit literally just for the content, like Legal Mindset fans go over and crowdfund it just so she can sue, just so it ends up. Now, that would suck for SmashJT because he's got to pay his lawyer, right? He's got to pay Ron. So I don't want him to do that. But that said, it would be kind of funny, though. Warranty Void drops 20 Legal Mindset memberships.
Hello! Beso de pato, man!
Thank you, Warranty Void. Giga Chat Move. Please say thank you if you receive one of those gift memberships. Like Professional Gentleman, Smile Lilith is dropping right in there. Thank you for those. Really awesome of you to give those out. Also, thanks to other people who donated today. JP Ravenfire, King Lugia, everybody else who donated today. Thank you so much for the gifts. All right. So, if this matter is taken to court, there's a possibility that Alyssa would prevail. Sure, there's a possibility. I don't think it's substantial. I think it's a possibility. Saying your statement is defamation under California law and New York law. Where they'd have to sue is up to them. Such Alyssa would not have to plead special damages for him to find her claim and merit, and that she committed a crime, intends to injure her in her field of work because by suggesting she is unprofessional. In New York, these laws make your statements defamation per se. In addition, you clearly have financial motivation. Your YouTube videos have gone from 1 or 2,000 to tens or even hundreds of thousands of views. Courts have found that where a defendant profited from defamation, awards of punitive damages are appropriate. I don't think she'd win punitive damages. That's a real fucking reach. We demand you remove all statements to the effect of Alyssa has sucked dicks for money or otherwise engaged in any acts of sexual contact for any kind of compensation or advantage? No, not at all. As well as issue a retraction or apology on every platform and medium where the original statement was published, including any not named in the letter within 30 days. So they're demanding it right away. The retraction apology must be of equal prominence and equal promotion to the original defamatory statements to the best of your ability. This is their suggestion. This is what they want you to say. It was wrong of me to suggest that Alyssa Mercante has engaged in sexual contact for money. I let my rhetoric get away from me, and I did so hoping to inflame you, my audience. I apologize for spreading lies about Alyssa and for doing so to manipulate you, my viewers. What a fucking cuck statement. Do you think anybody in the world would agree to cuckold themselves that hard outside of Spicer, Minnesota? That is like the worst. Look at that. So he has to admit that he was trying to, quote unquote, inflame him and manipulate. By the way, if he says that, here's the kicker. If he says this gives Alyssa grounds to get him kicked off of YouTube and maybe X and maybe other platforms as well. Let me say that one more time. So Alyssa is trying to bait him into giving an apology that she can copy over to YouTube and then send it to YouTube and say, hey, look, he was inflaming. That word is against their TOS on YouTube, so then it gets his YouTube channel deleted. That's what she's trying to do here. See, this is about thinking at the next level, right? That's what the lawyer is trying to do. Alyssa is the malicious one. This is a Trojan horse. She wants to destroy his YouTube channel by way of a apology. Be very fucking careful about this shit, people. This is why you need to have number one, a legal mindset, but consult with a lawyer, talk to people. It's a poison pill, right? Be very fucking careful. Also, speaking of being careful, LJ O'Rourke carefully dropping 10 legal mindset memberships. Let's get a new one in here. Let's get let's see, one we haven't used in a little while. Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm in favor of execution. Maybe our entire team needs to be executed after tonight.
Appreciate that, LJ O'Rourke. Thank you. I would never execute all of you. Just the ones that need to be thrown out of helicopters, guys. Just the ones that need a short ride out of a helicopter. But do appreciate that, LJ O'Rourke. Very based. Please say thank you to LJ if you received one of those out there. All right. Beer Bear Beard says, from your unwillingness to explain Devil's Roast Beef, I expected something much, much worse when I looked it up. Or maybe I've watched too much Kirsche. That's probably what it is. Because Kirsche definitely goes deeper than I go, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, Kirsche's going pretty deep. I mean, Kirsche literally has people trying to sign her up for fur affinity. I'm just going to leave that there. Opop says they're ashamed of their sex work because they realize no self-respecting man wants to be committed to a sex worker. And that's a whole transitional phase. So when you go from you're in your 20s and your party phase to going to your, I'm trying to settle down now, I'm a good girl, and you're going over to, well, I that was just then, but now I'm different. Right now I'm a woman, right? Give me some respect. But once again, I think that is going to be really difficult in the era of the internet, the era of social media. What you did when you're 20 and 30 is out there. So if you were a OnlyFans girl when you're in your 20s, right, that stuff is going to be out there. And your potential dates are going to see that. And there's already software and platforms that are being built for people to search and find those sort of websites. right? So there are websites already where you can search and find out, you can put in a picture of a girl and find out if she's done OnlyFans or seeking arrangement or other sort of, light sex work, right? And figure that out. So it's a very interesting problem for the future. And I think a lot of people didn't think about that when they started selling, $5 feet pics. LJ Work says, yeah, I'm popping a cider listening to this. Enjoy. I'll be having a drink in a little bit later tonight here with a client. It'll be great. Bologna Bong says, I need to steal your voice and ability to read. I spent 2.5 hours recording to get 30 minutes out of my own script, only to have to do it again. I know. Listen, man, I understand that. There's a reason why I do lives, though. I do lives because I like to just do it raw, and you guys see my process. If I try to pre-record, I'll take 4 hours to pre-record a video. There's something about, for me and my personality, lives work better. I'd rather scuff it live and just do it than pre-record a video trying to get it perfect. Because, it's authentic too. This is the way it is. You guys get it with the scuff, right? This is like 100% real raw scuff, right? When I'm muted, when starting the stream, that's fucking real. So talk about authenticity. Ragbers Reborn says she had all men are enemies and all animals are comrades tattoo. Listen, it's a white woman speculated away. Yes. Once again, not going to run too much on that, but anybody who says all men are enemies, that is pretty deranged, right? Does that include gay men? Does that include men that are trans men? Like, does she mean, only certain men are that way? Right. Chaos Smash says, do it raw, huh? Questionable. No. You guys always like it raw. I know how you guys like it. All right. Let's continue here. Harassment. In addition to the defamatory statements, your continual posting in conjunction with your campaign and Kotaku constitutes as a knowing, willful course of conduct to harass a person that serves no legitimate purpose. That's not true. There's a very legitimate purpose, and that is to expose Kotaku and to expose Alyssa Mercante's agenda, which is a very legitimate purpose, super First Amendment protected. In fact, what Alyssa is trying to do is really falls under the purview of SLAP, which is a strategic lawsuit against public participation. They're trying to silence SmashJT from covering Kotaku and covering Alyssa. So I think this harassment argument is complete bullshit. Wolfenwing says, as a member for 7 months, though, says, thank you for peak content while I drive. My pleasure. Happy to bring you to the peak. Let's continue here. So this says here, the deliberate use of my full name in her public statements is no mere coincidence. So this is Alyssa Mercante. Alyssa Mercante has been doxing SmashJT, right? Rather, it serves as a clear, calculated strategy to incite her followers to potentially outsource the task of doxing me. By intentionally invoking my full identity to her audience, she creates a pathway for harassment and intimidation, fully aware of the potential consequences. So literally, they're trying to sue him over the fact that Alyssa Mercante is doxing him. By the way, Alyssa Mercante, this stalker woman, reached out to this man's wife. This woman, Alyssa Mercante, reached out to this man's wife. Crazy, right? Crazy. This reckless behavior underscores a disturbing trend of online aggression where individuals weaponize personal information in pursuit of vendettas, highlighting the urgent need for accountability and responsible online conduct. Exactly. Whether or not we agree that using a person's full name in a public posting is deliberately inciting harassment, you clearly believe that it is incitement and that a person who engages in such course of conduct must be held accountable. If not by that person's employers, then by the community at large. Not only have you used Alyssa's full name hundreds of times, well, she puts out her full name publicly, you idiot. See, this is the thing. I love these false equivalencies. Alyssa Mercante puts out her own name in all of her articles. SmashJT does not. For you VTuber fans out there, this is where this gets relevant for VTubers. This is like Alyssa Mercante doxing a VTuber and saying, well, because you use my name, I can use your name. But there's actually a huge problem here. There's actually a huge problem here. Is that in this, when you look at this real quick, right, you see that his name has never been out there. It's only out there because of her. And because of that, it's a really big issue because he had an expectation of privacy. Expectation of privacy is how the legal analysis works. He expected his information to be private. He did not put out his public information of his name as a public figure. He put out this identity, SmashJT. He goes by SmashJT, right? Alyssa, on the other hand, did. Completely different. Completely different. Right? Real quick, want to make sure I got everything good behind the scenes. Okay, looks good, looks good. Also, let me get some super chats. Sean Duncan said, I apologize if it's rude to ask, but I need sleep and want to know if I need to be worried about the Steam stuff. I'm just an average Joe who cares about owning his stuff and freedom of speech. You're okay. I already covered this, so you can rewind, but I'll give you a little TLDR because you sent a super chat. You should not be worried for now, but understand with Steam, you've got a fundamental long-term issue that you don't own the content you buy on that. You have a license that is revocable. And that's how Steam works. That's the advantage and disadvantage of it. The advantage is you can use it multi-platform, very easily, multi-device, right? You can use Steam on multiple devices. That's a big advantage. But understand the ownership issue. But in terms of changing it to courts, not a huge change from arbitration, but I think a good thing because you'll be able to bring it in a more local fashion, especially if you're in the EU or the UK. Also, Brick Cormier for 20 saying, if sex work is work, then why try to hide it? If DEI is a good thing, why is being a DEI hire a bad thing? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't respond on email. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Why do some people need special protections? These are questions that I want them to answer. I agree. They don't need those special protections. If we're all equal, we do not need those special protections. I agree with you completely. Everybody should be subject to the same law and rules. That's why I'm so opposed to DEI, because I think it should just be purely based on merit. And that needs to be everybody really assessed equally, yes, but equally, right? Equity and equal are not the same thing. Alyssa Mercante says King Lugia for 6 Malaysian ringgit. Rabid1 says, Drew, why do you keep pronouncing Mercante? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I mispronounced Mercante. I'm sorry. I got you guys. Opop says if this goes to court, he should countersue for malicious persecution, doxing. Yes, he should. He should countersue for her defamation and her harassment. Beard. I did not expect Andrew to be pure enough not to get the dog pill reference, the tattoo super chat. Oh, no. Oh, no. I know about the dog pill. I've heard about this a long time ago. Particularly in reference to certain progressive ladies and the dog pill. But we're not going to go there on this stream. Try not to go there. Sean says, thank you. Good night, chat. Enjoy. Thank you, Sean. Appreciate you sticking around, and hopefully you catch the rest of the replay. Shout out to the RPG, the replay gang. All right, let's continue with this analysis of the harassment, the alleged harassment. You have even linked to a thread on kiwi farms. The humble fruit farmers. Now remember, Alyssa has already threatened to sue kiwi farms. Now, just like with everybody else, she's going to lose against kiwi farms. So she's going to lose against the kiwis. So she's going to lose that one. So she's kind of trying. She's mad at the kiwis, but she can't win there. So she's trying to get the fruit farmers through getting SmashJT. It's kind of like impotent rage. And because you yourself have stated that even using someone's full name could lead to harassment, it is clear you're in statements with the intent to place a target of harassment, reasonable fear for safety and safety for family. There is simply no other intent which could utter the words except for to hope you bill Alyssa into silence and off the internet. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's pull up just her tweets, right? Let's pull up one of her tweets here. I've got one of her tweets I was going to show later. But we've got this tweet right here. Let's see the tweet. In her username, in her fucking public username, is her full docs. She has Alyssa Mercante, right? That's her name right there. She's got that listed. So if you dox yourself, then there's no problem if somebody else says your name too, because you've gone out there and said that. It's weird. By the way, I like this. This is a post from May. So update, I've had some incredibly promising conversations with law firms and feel super confident. However, the shit will get expensive fast if I go down certain paths. Should I crowdfund? Does anyone know unmarried octogenarian millionaires? So literally she's talking about whoring herself out to a octogenarian for lawsuit funding. So in her own tweet, she is implying that she's going to whore herself out, whether that is through a marriage that is based on wanting money alone or just straight asking him for money, to a unmarried octogenarian millionaire. You can't make this shit up. It's like self-owns and self-reports left and right. Chat. Octogenarian is someone in their 80s. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that. Fun fact. Professional gentleman. Keeping it professional in the chat. Einbrecht for 5 Canadian says, Mercante is petty enough to sue over negative opinions, so I'm 50-50. Also, Kiwi Farms stay winning. Kiwi Farms bros have been taking a lot of W's lately. Walking Corpse for 10 says, this is why we should keep women out of the workplace. Best way to protect them, I say. That's a whole separate debate. I have mixed feelings about it. I think there's certain jobs which women are actually better at and should be doing. I think there's other jobs that men are more naturally inclined to doing. Physical labor jobs, for example, fucking deep sea fishermen. But there's some jobs that deal with, like, for example, care of others, like nurses and, things that deal with people positions that women are actually better at. And I believe in meritocracy. And I also believe that the people that are best for the job should do the job. So while some people are naturally more inclined to that, there can be occasionally somebody from the other gender who has the predilection to be good at that job. That's fine. I believe if they're actually good at that, they should be able to do that. If there's some super strong woman who wants to be an electrician, she can do that. I've met an electrician woman, like, who's like a line worker, like climbs up the power lines and like does that shit. I've met a female lineman, right? Her testosterone level was off the roof, right? She was like super like fit, always very horny, that type of person. Right? But if she can do the job, that's fine. But you don't make the rules for the exceptions. And when I make a statement based on the general truth, not on the nuanced truth. Once again, oh my God, Andrew's a fucking extremist here. Right? No, I believe in merit. Whoever's best should be doing it. Period. Right? People say, damn, is she still single? My roommate was a lineman. There you go. There you go. Muzzy for 10 Legal Mindset memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Even though some of you guys can get a little
disgusting,
I still appreciate you. Thank you though, Muzzy. Appreciate you. Appreciate your support of the channel, not just now, but every time you supported me. Thank you so much. It means a lot to the channel supporting me. NIN 489 says people that are good at a care job or care job. No. I meant like when there's other people involved, nurses, daycare, even teachers to an extent, although that's divided on what the subject is and et cetera. But there's certain jobs that certain people and certain genders have to happen a predisposition to being better at those jobs. And I'm all for people doing what they're best at. I think that's fine. If you're really good at it, you should do it. Sebastian Mueller says this will end up biting Alyssa in the back. Yeah. This is going to end up just being so much content. Now I've covered it. I'm going to get tens of thousands of views, if not 100,000 views on this. in the aggregate over multiple clips and streams. I'm going to get over 100,000 views for sure on this. And then maybe somebody bigger picks it up. Now, imagine if like Asmon picks this up or somebody else picks this up. Then it gets millions of views. The more content creators that are creating content, the more chance there's eyeballs on it, right? Blackguard says she's Schrodinger's feminist, simultaneously both empowered by and ashamed of her sex work. She just chooses whether she's strong or a victim, depending on who's judging her actions. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Let's continue. You accuse Alyssa of silencing her critics, but routinely engage in behavior that would lead her to not having a voice. How is they silencing her? I mean, once again, criticizing somebody is not silencing. This is the problem with a lot of these activists. They think criticism is silencing. That's not silencing at all. It's just criticism. This is ironic, given Alyssa's prominence and reach as a journalist is what propelled your own career forward. As previously stated, a more cautious and judicious person would have confined his commentary on the subject of opinion, even perhaps vociferous and vulgar disagreement with Alyssa, but the sorts of highly dramatic actions constitute defamation harassment. No, just because it's dramatic doesn't mean it's illegal. So SmashJT said the internet is ruthless. That's true. However, you feel about our attempt to dissuade Kiwi Farms from pursuing its own misguided course of action. Let us be clear. Any attempt by you to use this communication to drum up sympathy for yourself or continue to harass her by exposing her to the ruthlessness of your audience. So this is making a presumption that the chat, that you guys, that everybody in the audience is ruthless. What fucking idiots, right? It's complete laughable garbage. Like this is why these people, they hate the fans. They hate the audience. They hate the chat. Now listen, chat, let's be real. Let's be real. We've got a love-hate going on thing, you know? Sometimes I'm nice. I'm giving you cookies. I'm feeding you the spiciest VTuber clips. Other times, I'm sending you with the children back into the mines, and I'm calling you or I'm...
Yeah, right. Explain this to me like I'm retarded.
That won't be that hard.
I mean, you guys are can be pretty dumb sometimes. But I still love you, baby. I still love you. And you can still be part of the base legal mindset, even if you're a couple chromosomes short of a full bundle. All right? We go both ways. That's part of the je ne sais quoi we have here at Legal Mindset. Sometimes the chat is good, sometimes they're bad. By the way, speaking of the chat, 67% of you think Alyssa will not actually sue over this. Right? 67% of you. All right. Let's continue here. All right. So they're going to take that as intentional attempt to afflict emotional distress. So IIED. They're going to go for intentional infliction of emotional distress. So trying to throw spaghetti at the wall. What? And they go, Jeff, we are not asking that you never comment about Alyssa again. We are not asking that you never say mean things about her. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are asking that. Or that you never react negatively to something she writes or a tweet she makes or comment pejoratively about her. Yes, you are exactly asking that. You said that was inflammation. We're asking that you confine such activities to the rights of the law. That is not meant to silence you. It is meant to keep us from having to take you to court for damages you cause. We are giving you an exit ramp. Prudence counsels you to take it. Prudence counsels you to fuck off, Mr. Lawyer. To that extent, we are requesting the same retraction apology letters on your social media as above. You tell your listeners to tone down the rhetoric. You heard it. You guys are all full of rhetoric and avoid conduct and actions that directly target her. By all means, you and your followers should publish videos, blogs, tweets, and every form of media message out there disagreeing with Alyssa and anything she writes. But do not direct the conduct at her. No harassing direct messages, no linking to private information, no encouraging others to take actions that may reasonably make her feel threatened, harassed, alarmed, abused by your conduct. In conclusion, this matter ends if you publish a retraction or apology as stated above, containing all the information here, and promise to confine your future commentary to strictly non-defamatory and non-harassing. If you do so, our matter ends here. We need not trouble each other further. If, on the other hand, you continue your flippancy and disregard of one of your more reasonable requests, you shall find that there are legal consequences to saying unlawful things on the internet. We will pursue all legal remedies, including protective orders, injunctions, lawsuits, defamation, harassment, invasion of privacy, and affliction of emotional stress, and other torts in a court of competent jurisdiction. So they're just dreaming up shit at this point. Once you have published your retractions, please send links so we can review them to these law firms. If you are sincere, what the fuck is this? So now it's not only if you retract it, but if you're sincere, we will acknowledge the letters of the receipt and sufficiency of the same. If not, we will give you one additional chance. Oh, so they're going to send another letter. They're going to send another letter. Look at these little cucks. Jeff, you are a family man yourself. What an appeal to emotion. What an absolute beta boy appeal to an emotion. You're a family man. As a fellow family man. What the fuck? Imagine your family. This isn't his family. Alyssa's not his daughter. His daughter isn't sucking 20 dicks in a row for money, allegedly. With a little empathy, you can settle this fracas and we can all move on with our lives. It's time you made a smart choice for once. Look at this petty shit. If you're going to be a petty little bitch and say it's time for you to make the smart choice for once, do you think that somebody is going to respond positively when you talk like that? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Someone is going to double down when you act like that. Lane Haygood and Michael P. Dumford, who put fucking PhD behind his name. Who gives a fuck about your PhD, bro? I don't give a fuck about your PhD. Hold on, where's the strike through? There you go. I edited the document for you, bro. Get rid of your fucking PhD. Because you know what? You wasted your money on that PhD. It's probably a doctorate in dick sucking. Allegedly. 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 It may or may not be for money. All right. So let's get through some of these super chats here. Opop says, yes, I'm completely ruthless. That's why I donate $5 to you, Legal Mindset, and let him get away with mispronouncing my screen name. An absolute savage. Opop! Even though he's probably OP. But you know what? You know what? I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it my way.
Fighting monkey.
The monkey way. Elwin says, what a clown. I'm losing my... Yeah. This is Amber level for sure. Amber level co. Jay for 10 says, criticism embarrasses them, which silences them. For a while, I've encountered many patents on hold for self-deletions like that. Many of them have family that coddle them when they visit. This is the problem. America today and many of the West, UK, everything else, you are coddled. You are little babies. You're put in a little crib and it's like, don't, no, you're precious. Don't let anybody say anything mean to you. If they do, just to call them out, no matter what. Don't let them be mean. They can't be mean to you at all. And especially a certain type of activist has been gassed up to believe they can do no wrong in Yas Queen. Did you guys see that video? Hold on. I want to see it, like Alyssa Mercante fight challenge video. Did you guys see all the beta guys who came out and were like, here we go. Let me get this out here. Look at all the guys that are gassing her up on this. Let's watch this real quick.
People in the industry to be a little bit louder. Maybe say, we don't want you around if you're going to be a cunt.
Yeah.
And hateful.
Look at that little beta who's like, hey, yeah. Do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that in the background? Where it's like, hey, yeah. Like that, when I hear that, I cringe so deeply inside when I hear that voice. Those guys like certified offenders. Yeah. It's painful. It's very, very painful. Let's play this.
The games industry is diverse naturally. Not because anyone's making them be diverse. Because the world is diverse, you stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me. Physically. Bitch.
Has anyone taken you up on that yet?
No, because they're all pussies.
Yep.
3 days later.
Let's get in this corner. We have to funk back.
Literally, with Vera Dark challenges her. Oh, and then she backs out of it like an actual wimp. Right, we'll say that. Andrew Stanpower, Bernie Mac belt. I love it. So true. Revel Arvita says her face inflicts emotional stress. It's so quintessential, like it's so stereotypical. I've also got another tweet which talks about some of her sexual activity. We'll get into that in a second. Someone else says this reads as a think of what might happen to your family if you keep doing this. Full Sopranos energy. Yeah. And it's a shakedown. That's and I want you guys to be aware, because remember, even if you guys don't care about this issue or Kotaku, this can happen to you guys. You guys could get one of these, or your channels could. This could happen to a VTuber you like. This could happen to a content creator you like. Beer Bear Beard says, do you think these lawyers are for real, or do they convince Alyssa to send another letter to get money out of her? They made a bunch of money on this. These are New York and California lawyers. I guarantee you this letter cost her at least $2,000. $1,000 minimum, probably $2,000 just for the letter. Just for the letter. About 2,000K. Sorry, 2,000. 2K. Right? At least. New York and California lawyers, multiple lawyers, yeah. Lawyers are actual scumbag ambulance chasers, yeah. That's about 1,000 dick sucks. I mean, if she's charging $2 a dick. By the way, Walking Corpse dropped 5 legal mindset memberships.
Yeah. So you'll be there, okay? Today. Not tomorrow. Today. Today.
Thank you for that, donating. Today, we've had some big donations. And I want to say thank you so much, Walking Corpse. Appreciate you on that one. Thank you for that. A professional gentleman for $2 says, Right Honorable Reverend Doctor, Professor Esquire. Yeah, I've got a lot of titles. Chaos Smash says, if I fought her, it would end in a bloodbath. If most women fought her, it would end in a bloodbath. Because I really believe that most people who like just work out would destroy her. Like even women, like other women. Like some random woman that like works out. I bet if like SmashJT's wife fights her, she'll probably lose. Right? So that wasn't the end of it. I want to give you a little bit more context here, just so you see a little bit of the extra stuff. So this was something that was posted by Alyssa. And once again, this is a type of like you've told on yourself and now like you're regretting this stuff, right? So somebody posted, what is the dumbest or most unconventional reason you had sex with a person? Women especially. So let me just put out here, I used to write a sex blog. So full stop. So hold on. Writing a sex blog can be considered a form of sex work because you are using your sexuality to monetize your blog and make money off of that. It would not be incorrect to call that a form of sex work. It's not a traditional sort of sex work, you would think, but it is a form of that if that blog is monetized, which it was, right? I know that all of you agree with me. Maybe some of you disagree with me. In fact, let me put out there if you guys disagree with me. Like, so do you think running a sex blog, a monetized sex blog, is sex work, is quote unquote sex work. I want to know what you guys think. If you disagree with me, that's okay. Once again, I'm not Alyssa Mercante, right? On a maybe category. Yes, no, maybe on this. You know, my opinion is a reasonable person could say it is. But let's continue here. So, and I was in a Boston bar looking for content. So she's literally trying to fuck guys for content. She is looking for guys to fuck for content. Talking to an Olympic swimmer. Trying to make it like she's talking to some Chad. But she's like, a Shakira song was playing and her music video was on the TV in the bar. Unprompted, he went, she's kind of fat. So I decided to sleep with him because I knew it would be bad. So then trying to shit talk him after she fucked him, saying it was cope. Once again, I'm gonna play a little bit of the song here. So you fucked him and then you said it's bad and that's good content. That
you are coping and seeding. You just can't accept what you're seeing.
That is 100% cope. 100% cope. I eviscerated him in a post. Everyone got a pseudonym. Well, the question is, was his pseudonym something where you might be able to tell it's him? It's very fucking bad. That to even say it's an Olympic swimmer, people can start guessing. How many Olympic swimmers are there? How many are in Boston at a given time? This is effectively doxing the dude. This is effectively harassing the dude. He messaged me for weeks begging me to take it down and asking if I really did hear him farting all night. I did. Well, bro just had the beer farts, man. But that said, she's talking about fucking dudes for content. That's could be construed as sex work. And according to my poll in the chat, which is super scientific, 60% of you agree with me, 30% of you say maybe, and 12% say no. So fair enough. So if this is a court of law here, we got about 90%, about 88% that says yes, this is sex work. And then there's a minority, there's 10% that say no, right? But remember, to convince a jury that SmashJT is guilty, that 12% that thinks it's not sex work, that has to be the entire jury, because the entire jury will have to rule against him, all of them. If they don't, then he's not guilty. So if one of them says, no, it's sex work, so that's not defamation, then he's not guilty, then he's not liable, right? They have to agree. It's difficult. Cindy Collins says, I'm late, but I'm here. Welcome, Cindy. OP says she has more copium than a WoW addict. Oof. Rip WoW addicts. On locals, Veggiehan says, SmashJT should send Alyssa a cease and desist for all future decisions. That'd be funny. Well, Ron will respond. Ron Coleman will respond. And I'm sure we'll get a good response. Veggiehan says she has more tea than those guys. Yeah, Alyssa Mercante has more tea than the soy boys in the background. Going, yeah. And also says on locals, yes, I would say sex writers or sex workers. I would agree with you. If you are writing about yourself having sex, not other people having sex. What's that anime? Oh, God. What's that anime? What is it? Interspecies Reviewer? What is that? Is it Interplanetary Species Reviewer? Is that the one? Oh, what's the name of that anime? Interspecies Reviewers. You know, that's to me a sex work right there. It's niche knowledge there. Niche anime knowledge there. Okay. Very spicy. Izuzoki reviewers, yes. Chat is based. Chat knows because chat is based. And you know what? Knowing about interspecies reviewers is indeed.
Not as in, I cannot absolve you. Mega based.
Yeah, it had 3 dubbed anime episodes. Yep. Oh man. Okay. So that's what I got for Alyssa Mercante. That's what I got for very based. I recommend can I show this thumbnail? I think I can show this thumbnail. Yeah, I can show this if you guys didn't know. This is why apparently monster girls are right wing according to the spectrum here. According to the spectrum. But this would be sex work. Interspecies reviewers would be sex work, right? That said, that's what I got for today. Appreciate all you guys coming through here today, joining me, hanging out. It's been great. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time, but I will be back tomorrow. So look for me to stream. It could be in the PM EST for those that are like US and you woke up during this and kind of got on with me here. I'm not really sure whether it's going to be a morning for me or an evening for me. It'll be one or the other. It may be the exact same time as today. That's the most probable is exact same time as today. If not, might be a little bit earlier. Revel says Tia Plate is Beset Grill. Best girl. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Appreciate all you guys. And never forget about the...
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Low,